Let's go, Brandon.
Because I am a Christian man.
During a live-streamed Santa Tracker event on Christmas Eve, President Joe Biden took a phone call where he was told to go F himself, but of course in the most cowardly way possible. Check this out.
You guys have to be in bed by 9 o'clock, you know, and asleep between 9 and 12 or he doesn't show up.
This isn't to you, Jared. This is to the kids.
That's right.
Well, I hope you have a wonderful Christmas.
Well, yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas as well. Merry Christmas, and let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
All right, so that was the voice of Jared Schmeck. More on him in a minute. Of course, he's a self-described Christian. Self-described Christian telling the president to go F yourself on Christmas Eve. Now, to me, the most amusing part about this clip is that Biden really has no idea what this means. I mean, let's go, Brandon means F you, Joe Biden. It's been well documented for months. I'll get to the background of it in a second here. But this has been, I don't know, very high profile. And he really has no idea what this means. He actually goes on to ask Jared more questions about his family. Clearly, you know, oblivious to that he was just told to F himself. But a little more on the background of this phrase before I get to how this was clearly a missed opportunity here by anyone able to get in to actually talk to the president. But the origin of this phrase appears to come from a NASCAR race in early October when a reporter misheard some in the crowd chanting F Joe Biden, thinking instead they were cheering for race car driver Brandon Brown with the statement, "Let's go, Brandon." So that's the origin of this. It's now been beaten to death. I mean, this is... Why not just say F you, Joe Biden? Just say F Joe Biden. Well, what's the issue here? Like, you really have to code it as if you're like in elementary school, you put it in some coded language. It's really bizarre. But this has now been, platformed by members of Congress, Donald Trump Jr., all saying, let's go, Brandon, instead of just saying F you, Biden. Really bizarre. But even worse, as Dean Obadala writes here, even worse than the cowardice of being PC when it comes to political insults is that Schmeck is now doing the cliche conservative move of saying he's being unfairly criticized because some people have slammed his quote-unquote joke. Schmeck complained to the Oregonian about threatening calls he received after the live stream saying, quote, "Now I am being attacked for utilizing my freedom of speech." Poor victim Schmeck. Apparently he thinks he should be able to tell Biden to basically go F himself while on a family-friendly holiday call, but no one should be able to take issue with his actions. Yeah, this is just the classic conservative move. Do something that people find offensive or it bothers them, and then complain that you are now being criticized for the thing that you did. Hey, if you get your free speech for saying F you, Joe Biden in coded language, then they get their free speech for criticizing you. It's perfectly fine. But here you have now, let's get to Jared Schmeck. He was on Bannon's show here. This gives you an idea of the brains on this man.
I am a Christian man. For me, it's God first and foremost. I don't follow any one man blindly. Some of the media has run with that and said I don't support Donald Trump. That's absolutely false. Donald Trump is my president, and he should still be president right now. The election was 100% stolen. So I just want to make that clear. But Let's Go Brandon is more than just F Joe Biden. Let's Go Brandon encompasses the entirety of our frustration with Joe Biden, the administration, the leftist mob, the cancel culture, the mainstream media. They're the ones who made this a thing.
All right, so I'll get to the election crap in a second here, which of course is completely deranged, but it speaks to how weak-minded Jared is and how he can't accept a defeat, but more on that in a second. First, it's amazing to me how they have no real criticism of Joe Biden. It's completely empty. Woke culture, cancel culture, mainstream media. I mean, he goes on to say inflation. I think he meant, what does he mention? Gas prices, maybe? Like things that are largely out of the control of the president, but doesn't look at the actual criticisms in terms of what Biden promised and has not delivered on. So, but this, of course, speaks to the fact that he's conservative. It's all about culture. It's very little about actual policy and what Biden can do as the president. But real criticisms that he could have brought up was the fact that Biden has not canceled student debt, even though he promised to cancel $10,000 of student debt for each student, has not done that. And he could do that through executive order. Biden promised to raise the minimum wage. Didn't do that because he blamed the parliamentarian. Parliamentarian blocked it in the first budget. Oh, he can't do it, even though as president, he could overrule the parliamentarian. Biden decimated his own Build Back Better bill to appease Joe Manchin, who isn't even supporting the Build Back Better bill now. So, there are various issues here where you could actually criticize Joe Biden. Jared also goes on to criticize Biden over Afghanistan. Really, the only good thing Biden did was pull out of Afghanistan, yet he's criticizing him on that. It's amazing. But you have clearly a wasted opportunity here. Even if he had those other criticisms, fine, bring those up. But no, let's go Brandon is what you're going to go to. It's so weird. But let's go now to the election aspect of this and just how empty these people are and really how it all comes down to their feelings. So one feature of conspiracy theories researchers have found is that they can function as a coping mechanism in times of uncertainty or angst, offering straightforward and satisfying answers to conditions believers can't accept. The fact that a large majority of Republican voters believe Trump's claims that the election was rigged has allowed the party to forego the kind of soul-searching postmortems that traditionally follow electoral defeats. For Lindell, speaking of Mike Lindell, the MyPillow guy, no introspection is required if Trump didn't really lose. Voting machines were hacked, he believes, and Trump will be reinstated. So this was written back when, Mike Lindell was claiming that, Trump will be declared president in August, in September, in October, in November. Of course, it never happened because there's no reality to any of this. They're completely living in a fantasy world. But this speaks to why these sorts of individuals have to cling on to this idea that the election was rigged or was stolen, because their heart, their feelings can't take that Trump actually lost. So they have to devise this conspiracy theory that no, Trump didn't actually lose. Actually, everyone loves Donald Trump. Everyone loves Trump actually won, but Biden stole the election. It is so completely stupid. It's been this has been investigated over and over and over. It's been shot down by Republican judges over and over and over again. Yet still, they cling on to this because it isn't about facts. It isn't about data. It's simply about their feelings. Yet, the same guy complaining that he got criticized for saying F Joe Biden. Again, showing you it's all about their feelings.